Hey, Barb, it's 10 minutes with Barb and Ron. Oh, man, I can't believe I can't wait to hear what your topic is. I know our last topic was on zeros, whether or not we should use them or shouldn't use them and give them to students. But what's your topic for us today, Barb Gentili Green?
Well, great to be here. Yes, Barb Gentili Green here. So, Ron, when we think about universal design for learning, we're almost always talking about it in relationship to students. But we've also talked about how once you start understanding UDL, you see it everywhere. You can't get it out of your mind. It's just a part of who you are. And so my topic is, how can we use UDL to support educators as they're either beginning a job or beginning the start of a school year or throughout the school year? And so I thought we should talk about that for maybe about 10 minutes.
Oh, I love it because, with the Ohio UDL Collaborative, every year we have a few people that move on or whatever happens, and onboarding becomes so important. So I'm all ears.
Yes. Well, I actually, Ron, stole one of the UDL Collaborative's ideas for onboarding. Because remember when we did the PowerPoint slide and we put pictures or sayings or, quotes that we wanted to help people understand who we are as a person, as a part of the collaborative. So I thought, you know what? As we said in the last episode, I just started a new job and it was the start of the school year is right around the corner. And I'm like, how can I start building relationships with people that aren't even in the building? So I took that slide and I updated it and I did a voiceover with it and kind of introduced myself and my beliefs in UDL and my personal life and sent a link out. And it was so much fun to see people who emailed back and commented on that. And so anyway, that was something that, I did to try to begin my onboarding. But I want to tell you a really cool thing that this district, I'm just going to say it, it's Bexley City Schools in Ohio. And when they did the interview process, look at this UDL connection. They had people around the room that were asking questions, but they provided a little name card that sat in front of every person and what their title or their position or if they were a parent, so that I could see who they were. And then they provided the questions for me so that I could look at them again. And I didn't have that anxiety about remembering what it was, the question that they asked, so that I could answer it. Now, have you ever been involved in an interview where they did that? I haven't.
If I have, I don't remember. And I think I would have remembered that. So yeah, that's incredible. And going back to your slide thing, that was Jacqueline DeCibio that came up with that idea for us. And I always give her credit because we still use that, at the collaborative. So I'm so happy that was positive for you and everything. And I love the fact that they did those wonderful visuals. And one thing that stuck out in my mind when you said it is, did you say there was a parent in on the interview?
Oh, there were multiple parents in on the interview. Isn't that fantastic? There were, there were administrators there. There were parents there. There were, there was a paraprofessional there. There was parent mentor there. And so it was a very thorough process they had a vision for what they wanted and they needed to hear the perspective from all of those folks after the interview process. So it was amazing. I've never been in an interview where they had parents, and that was really, really fantastic. It was great.
Well, I kind of have the one question that I think sometimes comes up in people's mind is, was it very intimidating because all those people were in on your interview?
I felt amazingly calm, Ron. It was a large group of people. And before the interview, I had to do a videotape of myself, kind of introducing myself and some of my philosophies. And I had to write a letter to the parents of the district, as if I was sending them a letter. And that had to be submitted before the interview. And they read that and watched that video before I ever walked into the room. So it built their background knowledge a little bit about me. And they were able to then ask some deeper questions in the interview process. So it was really, You know, it wasn't, I was not at all intimidating, but I can see where it could be. You know, it was a room full of people, and you don't want to say the wrong thing, especially if there are, you know, different perspectives around the table. And so I just told myself, I'm just going to be me, and I'm just going to go in there and answer questions. And if I'm a match, I'm a match. If I'm not, I'm not. And it's okay. It's okay. So the other thing, we were interviewing some people then, and now I'm in the position and we're interviewing people via Zoom.
Oh.
And never thought about this, but my collaborator who was doing questions also said, we put the questions in the chat so they can see them also, as well as hearing them. I'm like, how simple and beautifully elegant is that? Like, perfect. So the other thing is, the messaging that they have provided is about self-care. They have high expectations for their staff, but their message was very clear. Take care of yourself so you can take care of our students, because that's why we're here. And so they kind of gave that permission to make sure you're aware of how you're doing and what you need. And if you need to take a little break and have somebody step in and help you with something, do that so that you can stay on your best game for our students. And it was such a nice, comforting, positive message to start. It was just fabulous.
Man, that's, you know, it's got to feel good being part of such a great system, it sounds like. I mean, talk about universal design for learning. You're right. They definitely must have kept that in mind. And the one thing that sticks out for me, I think, is the fact that you, like you said, you just decided to interview and be you. You weren't going to watch what you were going to say. You were just going to be open, honest Barb, which is really you anyway, you know, as far as the honesty. And then they, of course, chose you and hired you. So, you know, I bet in a year or two, if we were to do another 10 minutes with Barb and Ron and asked you how you're doing, I would imagine you're fitting in really well, even in 2 years.
I think so. You know, I'm day 10 under my belt now, and really feeling so inspired. You know, when you're in an environment, talk about engagement, right? When you're in an environment where there's support and there's also high expectations, you know, UDL asks us that all the time, high expectations. The goals are very clear. They're written down for us. We develop them together as a team. They're visual for us. And it's just such, it's energizing. It's engaging, and it makes you just want to do well. And so there's so many pieces of UDL that I see in their process. And the other really fun thing for engagement they did at teacher orientation, they put teachers in groups in similar buildings where they were going to be working. And they did a scavenger hunt around the district so that they could go and see and learn the different buildings and the people in those buildings. And they had little clues that they had to solve together. So they were fostering that collaboration among people that had never met before. And so just so many indications of UDL. So, and like I said, my title is Director of Student Services and Accessibility. And I just love that part, because maybe another time we'll talk about what is accessibility? What are all the different ways that accessibility can be shown or provided? So I bet we're about at 10 minutes. I'm so excited I could go on for 20, but I'm sure our time is up.
Well, you're right. You're right. We are at 9 something. So, you know, just real quick, and then Ron's out. So I love the smile. I love your enthusiasm. I love everything about how they tried to eliminate the barriers on the onboarding with you. So with all that said, Ron's out.
Well, thank you, Ron, for your support always. And with that, Barb is out, and we'll see you next time on 10 Minutes with Barb and Ron.
YouTube, please subscribe, like, comment, and share.